Listen, I said what I said. I will not eat Jamaican chicken soup without the pumpkin. It's the most important ingredient. Hey guys, welcome to my series Call Me a Mess, where I'm making some dishes from my Jamaican roots. I'm blending in healthy eating and making a little bit of mess in the kitchen along the way. Today's episode, I'm making chicken foot soup. All right, so for those who don't know me, I live in Baltimore, Maryland, and I go to this Caribbean grocery store. It is in Baltimore County, where I get sort of all of my fresh ingredients: Scotch bonnet pepper. They have the really good mangoes, not like the mangoes at the supermarket. They have plantain, and even the plantain is a lot better here. I think they low key. I think they probably get their produce from New York or even from Florida, because a lot of the things that they have, I'm always like, yes, this is the real deal. All right, so this right here, this is the pumpkin. This ain't the Halloween pumpkin that they be carving. This is fresh pumpkin, and I love, love, love pumpkin. I probably love it in anything and everything that I cook and make. It has this really like sweet but savory type of taste, and it is probably my favorite ingredient to put in soup. For some reason, I feel like you can't find this type of pumpkin when you go to like Whole Foods or some of the natural markets, but I found all my stuff here. I'm really happy it's here. It's about maybe like 25 minutes away from my house. So this is definitely my spot. Also, this place, they have like a fresh fish market as well. The fish line, it'd be crazy. And it's almost like people are fighting over the fish. So you have to get there, you have to get a ticket. It's a whole ordeal. I kind of stopped buying like whole fish because of that. Now I just get like kingfish and slice fish because you don't have to wait online. So here are some of the ingredients that I am getting for my chicken soup. I love the Grace like pumpkin packet. This one is like my favorite. I only get like the pumpkin, and then I also get the chicken, but most of the time I use the pumpkin. So if you think about these, like the bouillon, like sort of like the seasoning and stuff with the noodles in it, like that's what those packets are. So I really love it for like the flavoring that it gives. So some of the stuff that I picked up, and I'll go over this again when I go over the recipe, but I bought like pumpkin, potato, chocho, scallion, thyme, Scotch bonnet, Jamaican and Korean sweet potato. So I bought the chicken foot from here. I also put chicken back, and I got that also from here. All right, so the first thing you want to do is, of course, clean your chicken. So I usually don't do chicken foot, but I was like, you know what? My boyfriend mentioned, having chicken foot. So I said, all right, let me buy some chicken foot. And you kind of would do the same whether you use like chicken thighs or if you use like another part of the chicken. And for those who don't know, I don't eat meat, but I still am able to, make this. So you want to wash your chicken, as well as I'm going to use lime. You could use fresh lime or lime juice, and you want to wash off your chicken. So after you wash your meat and sort of clean it and take off any parts that you don't want, now it's time to like cut up your chicken into more, bite size. It's a little bit hard to cut it up, especially when you use chicken back. So honestly, if you don't have really sharp knives, I'm like, put that bad boy in there whole. But I do try my best to at least cut it in half, but it is hard. The chicken foot itself, I don't cut up, just because, again, there's a lot of bones and stuff in the chicken foot, so I'm not struggling to cut that up. So, yeah, you put it into a container, and now we are about to season our meat. All right, so we are about to season it with like standard stuff. So, of course, you are going to cut up your onions. You're going to use like your black pepper, your all-purpose seasoning. You're going to put like some garlic powder. So anything that you would normally season your meats with is what you are going to put. I like to cut up like some fresh garlic. Some people like to put like cloves in it. So it really just depends on what you want to season your meat with. Also, you could cut up some scallion, some thyme as well. Those are all things that we're going to put in there. But you want to season it, kind of knead it in there. and make sure it is well seasoned. So I do this before I even start putting it into the pot. So now to put it into the pot, I like to use a big, really deep and big, is what I like to put, like a big pot. And so I fill it with water, probably like 3/4 of the way fill. And then I want to start putting my meat. I put my onions and everything. So your seasoned meat, you up to you if you want to either season the night before. Sometimes I don't. For the most part, I just go ahead and season it, and then I start putting it all together and putting it into my pot. So you'll have the onions and all the stuff. It'll start to boil. Once it boils for maybe around like 20-30 minutes, no, maybe even a little less, I'll say 15 minutes, the water itself or the chicken itself will begin to turn white, and then you want to start adding all of the other ingredients. So I put in there pumpkin. Chocho is like a green, and you want to put chocho. The reason why is because chocho helps to make the soup. It's going to get thick, the broth thick, and you don't want it to remain thick. So you want to use chocho. So you want to put your chocho, put your potato, put your corn, like basically all of the veggies. You want to put those, and then the last thing, oh, make sure you cut up carrots as well. So the last thing I do is my dumpling. So my dumpling is just flour and water, and you want to create like, sort of this doughy, and you want to do spinners. So you want to roll it, and then kind of I don't know how to explain this act, but roll it in your palm, and then go ahead and drop it into the boiling water. And that's how I create my dumplings, the spinners. And that's pretty much it, like once you put everything, oh, and you want to add the pumpkin mix, either at the beginning or like once the chicken is a bit boiled, I then go in and I'll put in my pumpkin mix, and I put everything in, and then you just let it simmer. You turn the heat down to maybe like a medium fire, and you just let everything simmer and cook probably for like another like 20-30 minutes. And then you kind of done. Your soup is done. Oh, the last step is putting your Scotch bonnet pepper. You do not want your pepper to burst, because if your pepper bursts and then the whole soup, sometimes like depending on the heat of the pepper, it can be really hot. I'm not a super hot, eat. I don't like eating things that's really, really hot, but you do want pepper for flavor. Also, I put in like a piece of scallion whole, like but you want to take that out after. You don't want to leave that in there. The scallion and also the thyme, you want to pick those out after the fact. So that's pretty much, how I make my chicken for soup, or this can be also for your regular chicken soup, chicken back, chicken thigh, whatever you want to make it. Also, I will say you can do the same recipe and just, if you want a veggie soup instead, because what I do is I do the same step, but I just remove the chicken, and that is a vegetable soup. All right, let me know how yours turns out. Bye.